What's up, guys? Dominic AbassiI here for the British Columbia Football Conference. And man, there is a lot to be excited about as we head into week number 4 of the season. I mean, we've got a legit first place showdown, the game of the week. But let's start by looking at the first game of the weekend, 3 o'clock kickoff, Caledonia Park in Nanaimo, the Vancouver Island Raiders home to the Okanagan Sun. And I don't know what's going to happen here. Honestly, I pretend to be a bit of an expert about the BCFC and all of that, but really this game is so intriguing to me because I just don't know what to expect. I noticed that our reporters from our communities who pick their predicted winners every week, 5 of the 7 reporters picked the Vancouver Island Raiders to win this game, and I get that home field advantage, tough travel for the Sun and all of that, but I don't know. I really just do not know what to expect from this game. Everyone's talking parity in the BCFC. All the coaches are talking about how close the league is and how much parity there is, and I think that's absolutely true, 100% accurate. Both of these teams have lost close games to the Rebels, and they've both beaten the Broncos. So we can kind of look at that, and it'll be very interesting to see how they actually match up head-to-head. The Raiders have been playing it a little bit coy as to who is going to be their starting quarterback. Jake LaBerge has been out with an injury. He didn't play last week. But Cole McGarvey came in under center and just threw for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns and was the BCFC's offensive player of the week. So I don't think you can feel too bad no matter who's starting under center for the Raiders. For the Sun, they said they don't care. They're preparing either way for the system that the Raiders are going to bring. For me, it's the Raiders offense. Can they move the ball? Can they score against this very good Sun defense? The Sun defense just held the Rebels to 16 points. And that same Rebels offense put up 39 points against the Raiders the week before. So that's where I'll be watching to see how that game plays out. Next up, the biggest game of the season to date. I know it's only week number 4, but this is a first-place showdown. The 3-0 West Shore Rebels traveling to Langley to take on the 3-0 Rams. A 4 o'clock kickoff at McLeod Athletic Park. Plenty of posturing from the head coaches ahead of this game. If you haven't watched our weekly interview with Shane Beatty and Howie's there, and I would highly recommend it. It is pretty much must-see TV if you're a BCFC fan or observer. A couple of times I didn't even have to ask questions. I let the coaches talk, and they were more than happy to go back and forth on this one. One thing that stood out to me, and I know this has nothing to do with on the field, but really I can't analyze this game too in depth. It's all about stats, and those don't mean anything. These teams have to play, and we have to see who's going to come out on top in this heavyweight tilt. But both head coaches said, and they agreed, I think this will be the first of 3 meetings head-to-head this season. So if you look at the writing on the wall and then the reading between the lines there, I think both head coaches know that they're destined for a matchup beyond the regular season and probably beyond the first round of the playoffs as well, if you're an astute observer of what's been going on in the first 3 weeks of this season and really where the talent lays on the field. Both men hinting at that looming playoff matchup, and that's important because not to take away from this game in week 4, but really this particular game, the winner will be in sole possession of first place, but it doesn't, it's not the be-all, end-all. It doesn't mean everything, and it's kind of like round 1 of a 3-round heavyweight tilt, and I really can't wait to see who comes out on top. Talking about those reporters' picks again, though, every single reporter, a clean sweep, believes that the Rams will win this game. I'm not that certain about the outcome. I'll tell you that right now. And boy, oh boy, I think that's what Shane Beatty might be referring to when he talks about no respect for his club and what they bring to the table for sure. The final game of the week, a 6 o'clock kickoff at Hillside Stadium in Kamloops. The Broncos home to the Valley Huskers, the 2 winless teams in the BCFC. And when you look at this, you have one team who, whether they would admit it or not, probably isn't overly shocked that they're 0-3 right now. And you've got another team who is big-time shocked and pretty pissed off that they're 0-3. So that, to me, is going to be the factor in this game. I think the Huskers will be more desperate. They'll be more hungry and probably a little bit more angry as well. And I could see them coming out with a strong effort and maybe getting a little bit right and getting in the win column here this weekend. As always, BCFCTV.com, the place to go. Catch all the action live on pay-per-view as we get set for week number 4 and that great first-place showdown. For the BCFC, I'm Dominic AbassiI.